Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the Twin Astrology forecast for the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid though, and so I do want to talk about some big energies. I'm a little bit stuffed up today. I do feel there's like this huge collective throat chakra clearing going on. I started with a really sore, swollen throat, swollen glands late last week, and I woke up completely congested this morning, along with my little girl, Savvy, as well. And so I do feel there's a throat chakra upgrade or something kind of taking place with the masculines, and we're like in this massive gateway portal with a lot of Sirius constellation light code activations. And we're feeling this very powerful super moon, super full moon in Capricorn today at 11 degrees 18. It actually hit my local area this morning at 7:38. And that is the exact time that my little one actually woke up, and she is a Capricorn rising. So I thought that was pretty interesting. We've got a lot of energies kind of playing out this week, although I do feel the full moon is probably the spotlight of the energies. We did just have Neptune station retrograde a few days ago, and so I do feel there's been a lot of spiritual psychosis going on. There's been a lot of spiritual activations, a lot of higher light codes coming in when it comes to Christ consciousness and unity consciousness. And I do feel a lot of the divine masculines have been taken to the Mary Magdalene template with the divine feminine over the weekend. And now this super full moon in Capricorn is saying it's kind of time to take action on those desires. Capricorn representing the father energy, and so there's all of this pressure kind of coming in around the masculine needing to take action and taking responsibility. And there's a lot of karma playing out because Capricorn is naturally ruled by Saturn, right? And so there's communication needed as part of this shift. And so that's why I do feel the throat chakra is in focus, especially when it comes to the counterpart ghosting. And I do feel that's kind of in focus for a lot of the masculine, is the ghosting and the blocking when it comes to those distorted patterns that they kind of play into. And so we also have both Venus and Mars still in Leo. And Venus, is kind of chasing after the Mars energy. But we are in the pre-shadow of Venus going retrograde. I'm back. Venus going retrograde. And so they're not going to catch up, right? Venus and Mars are not going to touch this time with both of the signs in Leo. They did conjoin, I believe it was like last winter, I believe they conjoined in Capricorn. And so I do feel like there's a lot of very intense triggering energy when it comes to the feminine versus the masculine, and this war template that we've kind of been programmed in for many, many lifetimes. And so I do feel there's a lot going on in the twin flame connections this week that is triggering a lot of intense energies. And with Cancer season kind of in full force, I just feel like Cancer brings in the watery, dreamy energy. And then the Capricorn, I feel, is bringing in a lot of heavy, confusing energy. And so there's a lot going on in the subconscious mind, I feel, with Neptune in retrograde. So this is activating a lot of disillusionment, and our emotions, I feel, are very volatile at this time. Like little tiny things are triggering huge blow-ups out of nowhere. And so my mom actually came over earlier today to help me get the house organized and cleaned because I'm really not feeling well. And, we had to pack up camping early because of the weather. And so the weather is another strong indicator for me of the emotional storm that has been brewing, purging, and clearing over the weekend. And so, the twins have this unbreakable inner bond. And I do feel the masculine is paying attention to this noticeable connection at this point in time, especially with Mercury in Cancer. And so I know dreams have been super active, super vivid. It's almost like the telepathies kind of come back online for myself with Mercury and Cancer, and that kind of hit in my 5th house of Cancer. The songs, like the music is really bring forward a lot of messages from the counterparts at this time. And so if you wake up with a certain song being channeled in your mind, go and read the lyrics. That's likely a message, a telepathic message from the counterpart. And I do feel they're having a hard time fighting these strong feelings at this time that they have really repressed. And so we've got this powerful full moon in Capricorn starting off the week. And I know both of my girls are deeply affected. My older daughter is also a Capricorn North Node. And so I think we're going to be feeling this opposition between the Cancer Capricorn energy, wherever that falls in your chart. And so it's like the opposition. Full moons are opposing forces. And so Cancer being our inner emotional world and Capricorn representing the outer responsibilities. And so all of these childhood wounds are kind of rising up when it comes to father wounds, distorted mother wounds, and where we have an internal wounded feminine or masculine energy that still needs to be integrated. And where do we need to take responsibility now that we're an adult, right? We eventually have to grow up and be adults and do what's best for our own lives. And so it's like the inner child versus the adult as well at this point in time. And so we can't keep sitting around waiting to be rescued is what I feel. A lot of the masculines are waiting to be rescued out of this situation versus taking action and kind of showing up for themselves like the feminine had to do at the beginning of the journey. And so a lot of these masculines have been wallowing out in this internal disappointment of all of these Piscean emotions. They've been wallowing out, not willing to recognize that their lack of action really is a choice. And so I do feel like a brutally honest wake-up call in these energies for a lot of the divine masculines, because Capricorn's ruler is Saturn, which deals with karma. And so the energies are not gentle. I don't feel the energies are very gentle or easy to handle at this time. So it's like a brutal, honest wake-up call is what it feels like. And that's usually what we need to become unstuck from these very stagnant, drawn-out karmic situationships. And so major wake-up call energy, because it is time to take action. The masculine is the action taker, and they've been sitting back on that high horse, maybe hoping and wishing or waiting for something to happen to break them free, not realizing that, you know, nothing just magically shows up when we don't physically take those desired actions. And so I do feel the energies are very, very emotional. I feel a lot of the masculines have been brought face to face with the mirror of what it is that they've kind of created in their reality. And I don't think it's an easy pill to swallow, right? And so we do need to remember too, the feminine is always going to be a reflection of the masculine of what they have to put into this connection. And so a lot of the feminines carry the masculines throughout this journey, energetically, emotionally, and mentally, even in separation. And I just feel the feminines are at this point where we need to see that tangible action. And all of this lack of action, I think, has really created just this onslaught of so much suffering. And we don't have to go through this suffering on the journey. And so I do feel there's been some type of clear-cut, strong telepathic message that these Capricorn energies are bringing forward for the divine masculines. And so they've tried to avoid this pain. They've tried to avoid the pain of the separation, hoping that, you know, they could distract themselves and not have to look at this any further in that karmic contract. And they thought maybe this would never, ever come to pass. And so I do feel they are in the throes of feeling the pain that they have avoided throughout this separation. I do certainly feel that, and that will kind of push them into taking that action towards the divine feminine. And so I do feel the Cancer energy is emotional. It's bringing up home issues, romantic love life issues, and there's a balancing needing to be done in these energies right now. Like, we can't pretend. We just can't keep playing pretend in these false foundations, and I think that's what Capricorn is bringing forward. And so I do feel the throat chakra is definitely in focus. We have Mercury square Chiron on Thursday this week at 19 degrees 49. We also have Mercury sextile Uranus on Friday, July the 7th. And so that would be the 7-7 portal, right? The ending of the 7-7 Sirius portal gateway. And not like it's like this is Sirius, but it is Sirius, but it's like the Sirius constellation, Sirius. And then on Sunday, July the 9th, we do close off the week with another Mercury aspect, trine Neptune in retrograde. And we also have the moon entering into Aries that day. And so I do feel the throat chakra is in focus. And that's kind of what it feels like I've been going through, is like almost like a throat chakra recalibration, like a higher throat chakra recalibration. I do feel the masculines are deep in the fourth dimension of the heart. Don't mind me. Like, these energies are really, really tough for me right now. All I gotta say is thank God for the pause button, because this clearing is like a massive recalibration going on. And so a lot of the feminines, a part of our healing journey is we speak about the journey. We help others to understand what's not serving them. And so the block with the masculine is they need to speak up. They need to speak up as part of their healing journey. And they need to speak against anything that isn't serving them. And so I do feel another block too within the throat is when we speak negatively about the opposite gender or the masculine collective. And I'm still trying to integrate that lesson because it can be so triggering when we're entrenched in the anger of the ghosting. Makes it even harder to shift back into the higher vibrations. And so the throat chakra is ruled by Mercury, right? And so with Mercury in Cancer, I feel we're at this pivot point of creation with Cancer representing the mother. And so I think we really need to be conscious and aware of what we are speaking, what we are thinking, because that is what we are creating. And the twin flames are very powerful co-creators. And so if we keep looping back and focusing on the negative, focusing on the fear, then we are kind of strengthening these negative thought patterns that we're here to transcend. And so the Uranus energy is saying, hey, it's time to try a different approach. Uranus is in Taurus, which is a fixed energy, but Taurus is the Hierophant. Taurus represents traditions, higher traditions, these higher commitments, our thoughts on marriages and commitments and stuff like that. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines are being asked to clear the negativity in the throat. And usually when I go through a calibration of the throat chakra, I will lose my voice, or I will have a relentless cough for weeks on end, almost as if to block me from creating. And so it can be very triggering for me to be blocked because of an energetic block on the counterpart side. And so I do feel this is to trigger the understanding of the ghosting. And so a lot of the masculines, they get a feed off of the divine feminines because a lot of us are public figures of some sort, and we do post content. And so they get a feed off of the content. And when we kind of go quiet, divine feminine, and we kind of go within, it mirrors the ghosting energy kind of back to them. And so I do feel the ghosting is really what keeps us stuck in the separation, is the lack of accountability and the lack of communication. And so a lot of the delays are because of the throat chakra block. And so if you look at the chakra pathway as dimensions, right? The root being the first dimension, the sacral being the second dimension, the solar plexus being the third dimension, which represents the world of duality and power struggles. The fourth dimension representing the heart, which is basically swimming in the sea of the collective consciousness. And this is where all of the negative and positive energies go when we cross over, when our energy transitions out of 3D. And then we kind of got to swim in that collective consciousness of the fourth dimension. And to rise above into the fifth, we do have to activate the throat chakra, and that will bring forward a lot of ascension. And so I know a lot of twins are looked at as insane and crazy when we go through these activations and we speak our truth. I've been there, done that. But I do feel there's been a lot of speaking up in the physical 3D for the masculine over the weekend, as this change is kind of opening up a lot of things. And so the second the masculine opens up the throat, things will change very, very quickly. And so another issue too is the astrology. It looks like the feminine with Venus and Leo is kind of chasing the masculine. And so this is another lesson that a lot of the feminines are here to master. While we are still pursuing the masculine, they will always run from the pursuance on the feminine's side. And so these energies together astrologically are just symbolizing the masculine and feminine energies, right? And so they did meet a year ago, and I think it was like, I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure it was in Capricorn last February or right around Christmas, after Christmas. But we're not going to fully connect right now because Venus is kind of in this pre-shadow energy, and it's going to go retrograde on the 22nd. We've got Mars entering into Virgo next Monday. And so this really is a time of going within. Virgo is the hermit energy. It is this enlightened energy, right? Virgo and Pisces is the most healing axis when it comes to the 12 signs and the axes that we integrate on the journey with these lessons. And so it's like, we can't keep pursuing, we can't keep chasing because we never ever catch them, right? It's like the man that can't be caught. And so it might feel like union's coming close, and then when Venus goes retrograde, it might feel like it's ripped away from you, or the chance of union might be ripped away. And if that's the case, that's a clear indication to go within, right? Because it is about inner union first and foremost before outer union. And so if it feels like union's close and it gets pulled back, that means there's some type of past contract or situation that still needs to be cleared and worked out from the past. And so self-love is always the answer. And so I know I'm still trying to deal with the past. That seems to be this never-ending lesson that he's refusing to learn. And so all of this is due to childhood wounding or some type of negative attachment linked to a mother or father wound. And so we are recalibrating too. A lot of us need to speak our truth to our parents if we're able to. I know there's many divine masculines that I know where both parents have crossed over. And so I do feel the next couple of weeks are going to be intense between the full moon in Capricorn and the new moon in Cancer. I do feel there's going to be a lot of 5D and above connections that are going to hint towards some type of reunion. But it might not fully materialize until this 6-month cycle is complete. Because we are going to have so many retrogrades going into the summer. And all of the retrogrades will close out closer to Christmas. And so I'm saying this might be another 6 months of playing out into Capricorn season. But I know it feels awful to feel like movement, union, and then to be hit with a wall or a setback or a challenge. And it can be very frustrating, right? And it can feel like the universe is kind of out to get us. But these are all part of the lessons and the journey towards inner alignment. Because any type of block is there to show you a deeper truth, or, you know, a deeper understanding of a truth that was shown as part of the awakening. And so there's still stuff to heal, although I do believe the twins do their deepest healing in union together. So I do feel right now we're working on resolving our own issues still. And I think Venus retrograde is really going to hit the fixed signs, more so Leo and Aquarius, but all of the fixed signs are going to be feeling this into the fall. And so I do feel a lot is happening at a deep internal emotional level this week. And so going within will really help you on this wild roller coaster ride this week. So try not to avoid responsibility is a big message. And I know so easy to run from the consequences of our past actions, but it is the energy of, you know, everything always catches up to us eventually. And if we don't pay back the karmic debt this lifetime, it will carry into our next lifetime. So I do feel the masculine is being asked to take action now. If he were to take action now, I do believe it would bring a lot of positive results come Christmas time for the twins. But I do feel they're struggling with the past, still kind of haunting them at this time. Okay. I had to get my daughter set up, and I had another throat clearing. So I'm going to try and get through pulling through with some cards today. And so this clearing is definitely bringing a sense of fogginess. But because of the full moon energies this week, I did choose the Illumination Oracle deck. Because I do feel there's going to be a lot being illuminated for the twins this week. Major release. I feel we really need to take a step back and read between the lines, you know, really feel the energy. Yeah, there's that. Hide in the truth, you left quite an impression. And so that is the energy of like footprints in the sand. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines are recognizing the divine feminine energy. I do feel a lot of them have been taken to Mary Magdalene. I do feel a union of the masculine and feminine has taken place. And I just feel like the fall of the mask, right? A lot of them have been hiding the truth to everybody of what this connection was for them. Thinking that they could hide from it forever. Thinking that they could hide the hurt on their heart. There's that avoidance of feeling the pain. And then finding the determination to regain control, because I do feel a lot of the masculines have been masking through some form of addictions, whether drug addictions or alcohol addictions, some form of unhealthy habits to mask the hurt. So we're going to see what's being illuminated for the twins in the energies this week, 22. Master number 22. Okay, not very many wanted to come out, so interesting. There's the Kundalini Airlines, and so I do feel a lot of them have been taken into the higher energies, taken a long distance trip on Kundalini Airlines, and so the spiraling of the energy of the truth of the union, and we get, yeah, so I feel the highest of the highs and the lows of the lows. It's like they're going up to the truth, the absolute 0 point of the truth, the genesis, and they're falling back down, that coming to Jesus moment, the making amends for the betraying of the feminine. And this goes back thousands and thousands of years. Another thing I wanted to mention to my divine feminines, I did finish the Mary Magdalene Revealed book, and I'm so going to be reading this book a second time. So Mary was basically the apostle to the apostles, right? And a lot of the feminine gospel was left out. Well, the entire feminine gospel was left out of the Holy Bible. And then I started this past weekend, the Magdalene manuscript. And so the distortion towards the divine feminine collective is thousands of years. And so this is what the twins came here to clear within the collective consciousness, right? And so the masculine is making amends for the distortion towards the feminine for this long period of time. And so, and it is like making amends for how long the true masculine has eluded the feminine and the equanimity that we have not had for many, many generations. And so I do feel like facing the challenges, right? Hitting a brick wall. And so it is the energy I feel of bottoming out and the recognition of the past life connection of the twins. And so by the next holiday, and so basically this weekend was a holiday weekend, special occasion. I know for my own personal twin flame journey, my counterpart has a birthday coming up on July the 13th. That's also the day we got my dog Bailey. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines might be reaching out, needing assistance. And I do feel they do recognize the light that you have been shining on this unhealthy attachment. And they are thinking about taking a risk, but they're being secretive. They're secretive about it. And they've still got some wounded pride and ego when it comes to maybe a past divorce or ending that maybe didn't turn out in their favor. And so I do feel there's a lot of purging, purging of the toxic substances as well. And so that's a block for spending time together. Is they're swimming in a sea of in a sea of missing you. It's almost like prolonging the grieving process as they close out this karmic lesson. And so this is also a lesson for the feminine in compassion. We're going to pull with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck next, if I can get through Ascension Sickness. So, so this, what we're clearing right now is like a physical manifestation of the clearing. So a lot of uncomfortable physical manifestations of sickness arise as we go into these higher states of consciousness. And so I also feel mental clutter. So that's kind of where the twins are at. And so retreating, rejuvenating your mind and your body. And so a lot of us are connecting to these higher spiritual energies and places right now. And so we do need to retreat and detach as we go through this rejuvenation process, or like I like to call it soul retrieval. A lot of cards just flipped out. So there might have recently been some type of fallout. There could have been a fallout. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, there could have been a fallout, guys. We get the recovery card. The student is ready again this week, divine timing. And so there definitely was some type of fallout over the weekend, and that was like the tower bringing in unexpected results, right? So the divine will orchestrate towers to come in if we don't choose to take action, because not making a choice is a choice. And so Spirit's like, no, it's time to learn this lesson. So the masculine very well could have experienced some type of upheaval. Maybe he lost a job, or he got kicked out of his place of living as part of this healing. Yeah, oh wow, I didn't even look at that till now. So yeah, the divine masculine definitely went through some type of tower on the weekend, I feel. And so normally I will go through these clearings through my physical body as he goes through the spiritual higher shifts. And so I do feel they are in the depths of this deeply embedded trauma within their DNA, within their soul's consciousness, to face all of the hurts of humanity, is what it feels like. Facing the deepest hurts of humanity, healing, and then redefining the future for the collective. So I feel a light working activation for the divine masculine in this portal, because we are here to be these healers for humanity. And so divine feminine come out. And so this is some type of union energy, higher union coming forward. And I do feel the masculine is encouraged to use a little bit of logic. It's time to find that energy to take action, to move forward, because if he chooses not to change, nothing will ever change. And I feel he's trying to come up with every reason possible to avoid having to face the feminine. But I feel and there's that clarification of be mindful of what we're speaking of. Be mindful of negative talk towards the counterpart, negative talk towards the self, because that's going to recreate limiting cycles, limiting beliefs. And so we're here to energetically clear this. So what do you need to detach from to let the higher power kind of step in? Because the masculine's been gripping to this unhealthy situation for a long time. And now the tower comes in because the signs and the things have been cautioning the masculine that he needs a break. He needs time to heal. He needs to rejuvenate and transform. And he's not been listening. And so divine feminine, you're just being asked to go within, I feel, to just, the feminine knows the tough situation the masculine's been in. And so she is there. If the masculine reaches out and asks for guidance, I think the feminine is there. Her intuition is strong right now. She knows she's a healer for the masculine. She knows she's here to nurture and show the masculine compassion. And patience is a virtue, right? Oh, my nose is so itchy. So we're in a massive portal of expansion right now, where new opportunities are being presented, new doorways are opening up, and we're about to manifest greater abundance. I have to sneeze, guys. I do feel a new ignition between the counterparts, though. I do feel this passion building for the feminine. And so we are here first and foremost to deepen our relationship to ourselves. And as the feminine embraces self-love, this is bringing in the transformation of the twin soul contract. So I do feel the recognition of the counterpart. I really do. And I feel the masculine is releasing anything externally in his world that is no longer serving the purpose of the mission of the twin soul agreement. And we did come here to clear the collective consciousness of all of the distortion. And so we're in a massive paradigm shift right now. And it is time for us to really, really get moving on evolving our esoteric knowledge. I know for myself, I'm really booking it when it comes to offering some spiritual coursework for all of you. And so the masculine is supposed to be here through this spiritual vocation with the feminine. We're here to embrace these new ways of being. And so once again, as this pivot point or this divine Y point, we're at a fork in the road. And so we go through all of these uncomfortable, emotional, physical, ascension symptoms, overreactive mental stimulus as we go through this soul alignment. And so I do feel a lot of the feminists have integrated and are aligned at that genesis. And so this is activating the masculine soul purpose happening at this time, creating a lot of disillusionment. So let's jump in with the tarot. Oh, wow, 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords reversed. And so this is what the masculine has avoided, going into the depths of the pain, thinking that money could allow him to avoid the depths of the pain. So 10s are completion, 10s are endings. We are closing out these old legacies. And so when Mercury goes into Virgo, it will be going retrograde. And so I do believe that's going to bring a deeper layer of healing and awareness as well as to what needs to be felt in order to be healed. Yeah, because there's no passion in the masculine's life. He may have all the money in the world, but there's no passion, there's no happiness, and it's almost like this void energy on the inside. So, and that's due to pride and ego, right? So let's see what else needs to come through for the twins for the week ahead. We got the King of Swords reversed, just flipped out. Yeah, healing these old beliefs. The King of Swords reversed. Well, there's the ghosting, right? There's the lack of communication. The cold, detached energy of the masculine. I feel strong Aquarius energy coming through with the Star and the 10 of Coins. And so healing old beliefs, right? The Aquarian energy. And so we have Pluto in Capricorn retrograde, right? It went back retrograde. It kind of touched a little bit in Aquarius at the beginning of the year, went retrograde back into Capricorn. And so all of these Saturnian Capricorn lessons are coming back to understand about the distortion of the old family beliefs. And when Pluto goes back into Aquarius, I do feel healing. I do feel the masculine is feeling foolish. He's really not sure maybe how to communicate. Oh, we got 2 cards here. Yeah. He's not even sure how to communicate to the feminine. I do feel he's watching you. I don't think he's communicating. And I know that sounds really creepy, right? I do feel he's watching you. He's either watching your social media, watching the videos that you do. He's following your Snap or your Insta or something of the sort. He sees you strong and independent. But once again, the blocked communication. And then we get the Knight of Pentacles in reverse with the Knight of Swords reversed. And the 2 of Cups reversed with the High Priestess. And so he's blocked communication. He's blocked movement. He's blocked looking at the ending. I also feel this energy of you can feel an ending around the masculine as well. And so I feel he's really not communicating with you because there's been some type of exposure. I think there's been like a sudden ending. There could have been an outburst or a fight on the weekend. Maybe the masculine pieced out of a situation that he really wasn't invested in. There's the 2 of Cups in reversed. Venus and Cancer energy. Venus in Cancer, Virgo, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And so I do feel it's like, also he's in this energy of in the depths of the darkness, of the mysteries of this connection. But I do feel there was an ending, and I do feel this has unblocked his heart as well. But I don't feel there's like any communication at this point in time. Let's clarify the King of Swords reversed a little bit deeper. Oh, there's that wounded healer. And so we do have Chiron as well going retrograde. This month. And so that's going to really put a focus on what still needs to be healed. The Magician, I feel when Mercury goes into Virgo retrograde as well, that's going to bring forward some communication and opening up of the channels of communication. I feel right now there's a lot of telepathy. That's that Capricorn energy as well coming through. Pandora's box has been opened, as is the energy I feel as to the connection that the twins do share, the Gemini energy, the lovers, and needing to bring forward an offer. But I feel he's not able to kind of get a hold of his emotions. I think the masculine's emotions are kind of all over the place. So let's take a look at the Nine of Coins, because that's the divine feminine's energy coming through. And I do think a lot of the feminines are still single. Yeah, and I just feel like, and you've got all kinds of good things coming your way. Interesting. I think new ideas for work are coming in. I just feel you're also expanding on what commitment is for you with Jupiter and Taurus. You could have strong Virgo in your chart, but I feel new creative ideas for the feminine. That might require you going within and integrating those new ideas, putting together, some coursework or something of the sort, expanding your business. Any other messages there? Ooh. And then we get a King of Coins. So I do feel you're manifesting a solid offer, whether it is from the counterpart or a soul mate. And then we get the King of Cups in reversed with the Two of Wands. So maybe you do have a new offer that's coming in, and the masculine's been secretly watching, and he knows this, and this has triggered a purging of the heart. He's definitely at the crossroads, needing to take action, needing to communicate and come forward. So there might be an unexpected arrival from the counterpart coming up here by the end of the week. Let's get one last message. Yeah, a major reevaluation of priorities this week. Major reevaluation. Speak up, shine your light, choose friends wisely. But choose friends wisely, that did come out in the monthly July reading for Aquarius too. So I do feel strong Aquarius. Okay, so we are raising our vibration. And so as we raise, we shed. And so that's why I feel a lot of us are kind of in this energy of retreat. That's what Cancer does, retreats in its shell as we go through this reevaluation. And we are shedding the lower energies. And so reevaluation of social circle going on. I feel the feminine has shone that light on that reevaluation. And then we get the speak up. And that's the throat chakra recalibration. And forgiving and forgetting. And so make no judgments. Actually, this just triggered a memory. I woke up from a dream this morning and all I heard was judgment and saw the judgment card. And so that is the energy of awakening. And so we also are here to practice non-judgment, right? Because when we're criticizing and judging another, that's a reflection of an unhealed aspect of self as well. And so we are here for this service-based mission. But I do feel the masculine wants to speak up. He wants to ask for forgiveness. Hey, can we move past this? And I do believe he is coming forward with a sincere apology. So we can begin to explore this service mission, and we can begin to focus on success. So get ready to say no to anything that is not aligned with this higher calling, with this higher twin soul contract. And that's what I got for the week ahead, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.